welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel, everyone. This is Ara.abisola. Okay, so how did I apply for visa? How did I get my documents and everything? That's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. So the first thing first, if you want to aspire to perspire to desire to travel to Canada, the first thing first is to check yourself well in regarding money, because trust me, the easiest thing when it comes to relocation is admission. Trust me, admission comes so easy. There are schools that are interested in giving you admission, but then again, when you get the admission, the money, the financial resources to start the visa application, to start everything, do you have it available? If you don't have it available, then you might want to go back to the drawing board, and maybe you want to apply for Empower loan. If you want me to talk about Empower loan, I can do a short video regarding that. But straight up, if you have some money available, it shouldn't be too much. Trust me, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. If you have some money, maybe like 3 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5, I think that is, honestly, in all honesty, I think that's a good one. You can start your application with that. So the first thing first is that, okay, you want to have the desire, because trust me, everything Canada related will frustrate you. Maybe not be frustrated in Jesus' name, but like, you know, you will get to a point, you'll be so tired. Oh, you need this document. You will join some groups, they'll be talking about this document, be like, when I thought I have all the documents available, then somebody's talking about this, so I need to go and get this document, I need to ask my father for this particular document, and all of that. And a lot, it can be frustrating, it can be annoying, even as little as trying to compress your documents together. It can make you cry, trust me. But then again, everything is worth it. It is really worth it. If the end goal, the end result is definitely worth it. So the first thing first, as an individual who desires to travel, to relocate to Canada, the first thing you want to do is to start looking for schools. So one thing is that if in your undergrad, let's say you are going for a master's program or maybe a BSc, I want to make sure that this video is relatable to these two categories. Or even you have HND or anything, first of all, you have to make sure that you meet the requirements of the school or the program that you want to go for. So let's say you are going for BSc or masters, you want to make sure that, let's say for masters first, if let's say in your masters or in your undergrad you studied like mass communication, and after mass communication, 4 years in school, you want to study engineering for masters, it doesn't relate. They are two different fields, and in honesty, it just proves to the visa officer that maybe you're not really serious. You just want to jackpot. You don't really have, because there is no connection, there is no career progression in these two fields. So like, one thing is that some schools allow you to change. Maybe once you were doing your BSc, maybe you were just influenced, maybe because your friends went to art class, you also joined them to art class, so because of that, but you don't have any interest in art class, maybe you really want to do business. So some schools, it is important that just for the visa sake, because everything you do, you must to just remember that visa application is very crucial and important. So you might want to, just for the visa application sake, do something related to your undergrad course of study. Then when you get here, immediately you get your visa approved, you can contact your school to change your program, to change everything, so that you can move to, or maybe you can find out from your school if you can change department when you get here. It is better than you doing something unless you have experience, or unless you have a strong statement of purpose explaining why you want to change career courses, or maybe you have worked in a different field after your studies, so you feel like you want to continue with that, then that's fine. Otherwise, then you have to put that into consideration. So for BSc, if you're a science student, you can just go for a science course, or maybe based on the school requirements. If you check the school requirements and they say you must have mathematics, English, those little requirements, once you tick the box, then you are good to go. So that's one thing. Also, the second thing is that you want to look at the province that you want to travel to, the province, depending on one, PR. If you are one person that maybe just wants to school, after school you are going back to your country, you don't mind anything, then you can go to Ontario, you can go to BC, you can go to Manitoba, all of that. But if you know that you want to stay here, like this is going to be your second home, then you must consider maybe like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Saskatchewan, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland and Labrador, you know, or those kind of provinces like that. They are cheap, housing is cheaper there. Job opportunity is not as rampant as Ontario, but then again, you know, you have your peace of mind, and you are penetrating into the system little by little. I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but yeah, again, I think like that's the ideal thing for you to do. So when you choose a program, if you're going for a master's program, and you know that you have years of experiences in Nigeria, trust me, a 1-year master program is okay for you. You will definitely get your PR afterward. There are a lot of opportunities for you to transition to PR after your 1-year master's program. If you are doing BSc, you don't have to come. If you want to do BSc, you don't have to come here to do a 4-year program. You can do a 2-year diploma course. After that, you can apply for your PR. Trust me, it shouldn't be all that complicated. You can do 3 years master's program too, depending on the school that you're going to. So we have schools with different requirements. So for masters, again, you want to be sure that you are going for a direct masters, not postgraduate diploma or all of those certification courses that would now make you to be running helter-skelter after the program to look for a stay-back plan and all of that. So you want to be wise in your decisions. So once you choose school, so let's say, for example, David is coming here to do his master's. So he completed his 4-year program in mechanical engineering from Unilag, and is coming here to continue his studies in mechanical engineering again, or maybe he wants to choose another engineering course or something, really, maybe data science. At least he's still in the sciences field, so that's a good way. So once David is going to start researching schools, so he's going to type on Google schools that offer masters in engineering in Atlantic provinces, you know. Then maybe Google is going to streamline it for you. And good thing is that we have ChatGPT this time around too. So ChatGPT can help you streamline it. We have different colleges link, and you can just reach out. You can just go through the website. You can even write out. Me, I'm an old school, so I like pen and paper. We write out the name of schools in, like, maybe New Brunswick University, Nova Scotia Community College. You know, all these schools, cheap colleges, cheap schools. They have like, it's cool that you apply to, you seek out for those kind of schools. So if you check the program, you check the requirements. Maybe they are not asking you for GMAT. If you don't want to go through the stress of writing GMAT, writing IELTS, writing all of those things, you know, you can just look for courses that just require you to have your BSc, write maybe a recommendation letter, or maybe don't even write at all and just apply. So it is important that you apply. It is important that you also check when the session is going to be on, because it doesn't make sense that you want to apply for September intake and you want to send in your application by July. That's too late, because when are you going to apply for visa or everything like that? So if you're coming for September, I think the ideal time for you to start applying should be in January, or even the year before, like November, December of the previous year. So give it like 4-5 months before, so that you can have enough time to gather your document to apply for visa. Okay, so once David applies and school is telling him, okay, we've submitted all your application, you've paid your application fee, which you can use you can use your a domiciliary account to pay. If you're having challenges paying, you can reach out to somebody abroad that can help you pay Naira, and they'll send it to the school. They'll pay on your behalf. There are different ways that you can pay to. Some schools, I think they don't mind Western Union, so just find the one that works for you and you are good to go. So once you are done with that, then you just await the school. So you make sure that you find out from the school how long you have the waiting period. So some schools it's 1 month, some schools it's like 3 weeks. It depends on the school and the program and the department. So once they reach out to you, once you have sent in your application for admission, it is important that you start gathering your documents for your visa application. See, mind you, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. No document is too much when it comes to visa application. Anything like this, as you are sleeping in the night, you just remember that there is family pictures. quickly go and wake up, go and carry it and put it inside the folder. Like, have a folder for all your documents so that you don't mix these things up. As you are putting it in the folder, make sure the next morning you are carrying it like this to cyber cafe, or if you have a scanner in your house, scan everything, create folder for each document that you have, like family pictures. If your mom or your dad is your sponsor, then you have your document, your mom's sponsor, my mom's, you write the mom's sponsor, then you have your CAC if she's working for herself. If she's not working for herself, she's working for a company, letter of employment, pay slip, work ID card, all of every document to just show. If she has a business, a CAC, a purchase invoice, a sales invoice, pictures at work while she's at her market doing all of those things, everything. If it is your uncle as well, take a picture with him, talk about everything. You need to prove that your sponsor is capable of sponsoring you. You need to prove that you have all the documentation to back up your study permit application. So you have to, it's important that you also do notarization. So like you have sponsorship letter. This is a letter that your sponsor is writing to the embassy, saying that they are capable of sponsoring your education. So they are aware of your medical bills, they are aware of your tuition fee, they are aware of your housing, they are aware of everything that you are going to be needing, foodstuffs, everything, and they are going to be ready to support you. So once they write the letter, together with your statement of purpose, that is the letter that you yourself is going to write to the embassy, talking about why you are choosing that province, why you are choosing that program, why you are choosing that country, why the program, how the program is going to impact you, and why you would come back to your country to be a blessing, to use that program, that experience to bless your country people, to bless yourself, to advance your career and all of that. You need to be very convincing. Don't say that I want to apply so that when I come back, then I'll be able to help my parents. There is no help your parents. They don't care. You have to be very convincing. If you have traveled out of the country before, you need to let them know that you have once traveled out of the country, and before your study permit expired, you return back to your country. If you have a business in your country, you need to state that you have a business that you can't be far away from for a long time. You need to come back to monitor, to advance the business. You can't say that you want to study mechanical engineering, like David, that we are using the example, wants to study mechanical engineering so that when he comes back, he can come and handle his father's photography business. It doesn't click. It doesn't relate. So why don't you go and study photography in Nigeria? Or better still, you are trying to tell the visa officer. I think maybe I'm going to talk about statement of purpose in a new video. I'm going to read my own statement of purpose as well, so that you can see what I wrote there and how you can also use it for your own application. So with that being said, you need to take this document to the High Court anywhere, so that they can, or to a lawyer's place, just so that they can put the notarization there. I feel like that notarization is more important. Affidavit is good, but it's not as genuine as notarization. So you want to make sure that they put that red stamp on every document that you have, just to show that it's genuine and it's everything. If your sponsor has landed properties, all of those documents, please add it. Receipt of house rent, pictures of house rent, everything. Don't listen to anybody that tells you that overdoing too much documents. There is nothing like too much documents. Put everything, and make sure that in your statement of purpose you are writing everything down, that you added these documents. In your sponsorship letter, let your sponsor state that they have these documents. And the most important thing is the financial aspect. There are different reasons why immigration would refuse your visa: family ties, personal assets, financial status, different reasons, lack of progression in the course of study, all of these reasons. So you want to make sure that financial aspect, because immigration, Canada don't want to feel like you're coming here to come and sleep under the bridge, or you're coming here to come and after first semester you can't continue paying your school fees, you have to cancel the whole program and everything like that. No, you want to put yourself in the mind of the visa officer. If this person is saying he's coming to my country, do they have all the money to take care of themselves, not to be stranded and everything? And mind you, when you're applying to some schools too, you need to find out if some schools require that you make some down payments. Like some school will tell you, okay, look for cheap schools. These provinces that I mentioned earlier, they are cheap, they are quite affordable. Nothing is cheap, trust me, but they are quite affordable compared to other provinces. And you have to make sure too that if they are asking for down payment, it is good that you make down payments. Really, it is good that if you can make down payment, especially now. Before, people don't really care, some people don't make down payment, but as time persists, the whole system is becoming more rigid, more difficult and everything like that. So you want to be as convincing as possible. So try as much as possible to find out if your school requires down payment. Some schools, they will tell you in a year maybe the school fees is like 15,000, and they want you to make a down payment of half or like 50% or like 80% of the school fees. Avoid it if you don't have the money. If you have the money, fine, you can go for it. But if you don't have the money, look for a school that maybe they are just requesting you to pay maybe like 2,500, maybe like 1,500 out of like 18,000, or maybe like out of 11,000, something, something that you can gather, and maybe when you come here, you can hustle your way around to pay the remaining school fees. But I think it is important that you deposit something. If your visa has been refused before, try as much as possible to deposit. At least if you can pay the full, or if you can deposit something before you reapply again, I think it is good that you do that. So for your financial standing, if you are sponsoring yourself, then you need all the documents possible. Whether you have your own business or you are working for somebody, you need to prove that you're working for somebody. You need to show your financial standing. You need to show how much you are worth and how much you have in investments, in stock, in everything. Gather it together and prove that you can pay the money. And if you have a sponsor as well, make sure that your sponsor provides all the documents possible. Now, the thing is that sometimes maybe your parents don't have the money to sponsor you, and maybe you have an uncle who is rich, who is ready to give you the necessary documents for you to apply. Now you have to consider the uncle as well. Does the uncle have his own family? Is he married with 3 children, 4 children? The money that he has in his account, is it enough to take care of his own family and also add yours to it? Or maybe it's something that he can only care for himself and his wife alone, and the moment you come into the picture, it's going to be a burden. All of these things are what the visa officer is going to be considering before they give you the visa application. So if your uncle or your auntie who is ready to sponsor you, or your sister is not married, make sure you state it, you highlight it clearly so that you can see that this person is not married, and all the money that they have, they are ready to use it to support me. They don't have kids, they are not married. It is possible, because the moment they realize that you are David Mark, and your uncle or your auntie is Sean Johnson, those are 2 different surnames. So you have to be more convincing as compared to somebody who is David Mark and the father or the mother is the one sponsoring. They have the same surname, so that person normally is their obligation to make sure that you are fine as their child. So you have to consider that as well, because more work is required for you who your uncle is not related to you by blood or by surname. Yeah. Okay, so when you are applying, once your admission letter is out, you need to make sure that all the document that you have is ready. Marriage pictures of your family, pictures, legal documents, properties, home and abroad if they have. If you or your sponsors have traveled before, biodata page of their passports, several other documents. I think I'm going to be listing the documents down in the comment section so that everybody can see it. But no, your document is going to be different from mine. Trust me, it's going to be different because it depends on who is sponsoring you, and it depends on what your sponsor has have available. But it is important that you go to the courts to notarize your document. Not that it is really important, but I think that it is good for you to do that. It is good for you to state it, emphasize on it how much your sponsor has in his or her account. So let's talk about money for a few minutes. So money is important. I think I've stated that before, but I want to hammer on it because the first thing when it comes to visa application is money. Money. You see that money that you want to put aside, carry it again and put it in the middle, and put it in the front again and put it at the back. It should be front, middle and back. Money should be the essence of the whole thing, and then the grace of God is the paramount. the grace of God, because it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that sheweth mercy. It is God really. But then so when your sponsor is applying for you, even if it is your parents are the ones sponsoring you, and they have maybe your dad is the one sponsoring, and he has 20 million home and abroad. That's all the money that he has. And then again, you are the firstborn with 5 siblings, and you have to consider, if my dad is saying that he's sponsoring me, I'm coming for BSc of 3 years in Canada, the money, your school fees alone for 1 year is about like 11 million or 15 million. Or maybe even 8 million at least. Does the remaining money, is it okay to sponsor the rest of the siblings? And you want to be transparent, you want to be open in your application. You don't want to lie that you don't have siblings or anything, because maybe in the nearest future you might want to invite your siblings over, all that. So it is important that you look for, you make sure that you get all the documents. Now, if you know that you don't have as much money as possible, try as much as possible to apply for Empower. Empower is only available, it's a loan, and it's available for only people who are coming here for masters, not for BSc. So if you are here for BSc, if you are aspiring to come to Canada for BSc, then you have to make sure that you find a sponsor for yourself. Find somebody who is ready to sponsor you to come here. Maybe they're even ready to loan you some money. Now, the most important thing is that if your uncle or your extended family member is planning to sponsor you, even your parent is planning to sponsor you, and they claim that they have like 40 million in their account, but no school deposit has been made, no money is being transferred to your account, and you are like 24, 25, 26 there above, you don't have any money, then it's just a claim, or it's just there for display. It's not very much convincing. So it is important that even if you are going to return the money back to them, just make sure that you prove as much as possible that you have enough money in your account. So take a loan from them. Maybe when you get here, you start working, you can send the money back to them, just to make sure that you have enough money. That's it. And it is important that the money there is not like something on display, like they are sponsoring you, unless like they give you some money and you do a gift of deed. So you do a gift of deed to prove that this money was transferred to you. You have to explain how the money came about. If a lump sum, they call it a lump sum, is showing in your account. So let's say, for instance, you have an account that is always like the maximum amount that enters your account is always like 5 million, 2.5, 1.7, and all of a sudden like 20 million enters the account. That is out of norm. Like, that's strange. Like, that's a huge sum of money that needs an explanation. So you can do a gift deed for that. They do it in the court, explaining how the money came about, that it is my auntie or it is my mom who is committed to helping me in my study in Canada, who has pledged this amount, to support my career, to support my education, and all of that. You just have to explain it. So you have to make sure that you are keeping track, or for the sake of visa application, you now quickly went to borrow money and you put it inside your account once like that. You have to be careful. If it is going like this, it is like this, and suddenly it goes up like it is over and beyond. So you have to calm down. You have to make sure that everything is on the level. Anything that goes above it must be explained how it came about. Okay, so for me personally, I think that when I applied for my own visa application, I'm here. I paid for because my program is a 2-year program. I paid complete first year tuition fee. So I applied. I got all my documents and everything, and I applied for visa that November. And by February, it took 3 months. February, my visa response came out. In fact, that day I was at Lekki phase 1. I wanted to enter bus like this. I just saw the email. I just said, okay, should I wait and get home before I read this thing? That's how I just said, okay, you know what, let me work out. That's how I started walking. I almost got to, if you know Lagos very well, I almost walked from Lekki phase 1 to Marwa, because I was just like, I was not praying, kabashing and praying that thank you Jesus and all of that, only for me to check this thing. And I saw that, sorry, my application has been refused. If I want to do that, I should try again. Hey, God. In fact, I did not believe it first. I entered the bus, I go home, and I was just praying that miracle will happen. Miracle will happen. Miracle will happen. I got home, I checked again. I could not even tell anybody. I was so disappointed. I was so down. I couldn't even believe that something like that would happen to me. I wasn't expecting that. But then again, we fall, we rise again. So I took some time, because the visa application came out in February. That was in 2022. So I didn't apply again until July 2022. So July 2022, I took my time. I started going over my documents again, going over everything. The only thing I really added was me emphasizing that I've paid first year tuition. In case the visa officer missed this in the first place, I wrote it like 5 places. I've paid first year tuition. There's nothing again I want to do now. I can't pay second year tuition. I don't have that money yet, So I was just stating it. I prayed, and the only thing I added to the second application was because my mom was my sponsor and she has a business, so I just took a purchase invoice and a receipt. That was all I added to the whole application. I just printed out. I just submitted a new statement of accounts. That's it. That was the only thing I added, and I started praying. Hey, Holy Ghost Congress, I'm there. Hour of mercy, I'm there. Prayer back to back, because God, it is not easy. And this period, I never told my family that my first visa application was refused. I only told my sister, because I didn't know how they would take it. They've been waiting for long. They've been telling me all through the period of waiting. My parents have been, how far with your visa application? Nothing yet from them. But these people are slow. Why are they taking time? And they've already refused me. But I can't say it. I can't. I don't have the energy to start saying that now, before they will tell me, Bisola, maybe you should start business in Lagos, so maybe you should go to Lagos Business School, or maybe you should go to Unilag and do your masters. Those kind of things that I don't want to hear it. It's going to discourage me. So I just make sure that I just put in the second application, and I was praying and trusting God. And eventually it took 6 months. When I was telling somebody that my second application took 6 months, they didn't believe it. They're like, well, I said, I know somebody that I heard of somebody, not that I know the person personally, that his application took a year, like a complete year, before it got a response. At that point, I was thinking of writing an email to the provincial, to the councillor or whatever of my province, and all of that, to the school, to immigration, to ask how far now what's going on. But I just know that patience is virtue. Let me just be using this period to just be praying and be trusting God, and just be hustling small. And so it took 6 months. Eventually I applied in July. My visa application came out in January. Like, God gave me a new year gift. That was January 2023, last year, January 2023. Yeah, so I was really excited. I was really glad. I was thankful, and I started making preparation. You see, it is worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. And I'm thankful that I'm able to say that my visa was refused, so that where I'm coming from. It took like more than a year. Police report again. My medical, it almost expired, but my police report expired. I had to do a new one. I was just tired of the whole process, but then again, I didn't give up. And that's what you are not going to do. Like, in the visa application, you are really not going to give up. If you have any question regarding immigration, you can drop it in the comment section. If you want, you can always join group. There's a group, or there's a Telegram group, OJC, on Telegram. You can join the group as well, to ask as many questions as possible. If you want me to do a video concerning anything, I'm ready to do that video as well. Just make sure that you are getting all the necessary information, so that you wouldn't apply. Because some people, there was a time I was speaking to somebody, and I knew from the beginning, the way this guy was in a hurry to apply for his visa, I knew that his visa was going to be refused. When he reached out to me, he said his visa was refused. I said, I knew it, that your visa was good, because the way you were so in a hurry to apply, you didn't care about the documentation. Is very important. It is not how far, it is how well. It is not how far. It is not like, maybe it's good that you apply once and you get it done. Rushing to apply, they bounce you, and you're applying it. You're wasting money, wasting time, and wasting all of these things. So get your documents ready, get everything intact before you apply. And please check out these provinces, check out immigration laws in these provinces before you apply. But I feel like the provinces that I mentioned earlier, they are good. Those 4 provinces, trust me, or even 5, I think 4 provinces, those Atlantic provinces, they are really good. And you can always get value from there. You can always, adjust into the system well from these provinces. And make sure that you get all documentations right. And as well, it is important that some schools that you're applying to, you can ask them if they have alternative intakes. Maybe you're applying to maybe a particular school, and they say the intake you're applying for is May, that's or maybe fall. So you have to ask them if they have an alternative for winter, because maybe when you apply for visa you would get a response and the admission is going to expire. You have to start paying for another application. It doesn't make sense. So if you ask them and they tell you that, oh, they have another alternative intake for this particular period, then you know that, okay, you are at peace. At least if you get your visa this period, or it's later that you got it, you can always extend, instead of you just letting go of your money like that and trying to apply again for the visa application. So I hope this video is helpful in explaining all of these things. And I think I just want to talk about just the application and the visa, the admission application and the visa as well, just to encourage you on getting all your documentation right. And the biometric, you don't have to pay for biometric. When you pay for visa application, everything is together. They'll just call. It takes 2-3 days at most, less than a week, for you to be sent an email to go and do your biometric at the VFS office at I think that's at Ikate. I think that's the only place they do it in Lagos. Maybe they do it in Abuja too, yeah, I think so. So to do your fingerprint there, if you want me to explain the document that you need to take it, because that place, those cafes at that place, they charge a lot. It's so absurd. But then again, I can make a video regarding that, but I just want to make sure that all your documentations are right. So I'm going to do a video telling you about my statement of purpose, how I wrote it and what it entails, and how you can write yours as well. All right, so thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry that this video took 31 minutes, but I think it's worth it at the end of the day. I think I was repeating some things, just emphasis, just for you to click, for you to get, because I'll be excited to hear that your visa is eventually approved and you are on your way to Canada. All right, take care, see you later, bye.